there was only one major problem. No verified tantrum ever surfaced. No public attack from Reese was found. No interview showed her criticizing Cunningham. And the Adidas shoe being presented as an overnight reward for Sophie's UFC appearance had actually been announced before she entered the octagon. The real story is still dramatic, but it is not Sophie Cunningham defeating Angel Reese in some secret popularity war. It is about how one WNBA player created an authentic viral moment, and how quickly online media attempted to turn that moment into a feud with another woman who had not publicly said anything. Cunningham's UFC appearance was real. The spontaneity was real. Dana White explained afterward that Cunningham had arrived at the event and casually mentioned that she wanted to walk around the octagon. White did not schedule a future meeting. He did not send the idea through a marketing department. He told her she could do it that night. The decision reportedly came together only about 8 minutes before Cunningham appeared. That lack of planning became part of the appeal. Cunningham was not introduced through a long promotional package. She did not arrive with a rehearsed speech. She stepped into the role, carried the card, smiled at the crowd, and embraced the absurdity of a WNBA guard suddenly becoming a guest octagon girl during one of the biggest UFC events of the year. The audience immediately responded. Cunningham already had a recognizable online personality. Her viral finger-pointing moment during a Fever game had become a meme. She understood that fans enjoyed the combination of competitiveness, humor, and unpredictability surrounding her. Inside the UFC arena, she used that personality again. She recreated the pointing gesture. She interacted with people around the cage. She later posed with Max Holloway. Nothing about the moment appeared overly serious. That was precisely why it worked. Sports audiences can usually recognize the difference between a heavily manufactured crossover and something that developed naturally. A planned campaign may have perfect lighting, prepared slogans, and several days of promotion. Cunningham's appearance looked like someone had asked a wild question and received an immediate yes. That gave fans a sense that they had witnessed something unique. Then Cunningham made the story even better by returning to her actual profession. Less than a day later, the Indiana Fever faced the Las Vegas Aces. Dana White attended the game. Cameras found him around the court. The UFC story was still spreading across social media. Cunningham could easily have become nothing more than a celebrity sideshow headline attached to the basketball game. Instead, she produced. She scored 20 points. She made 6 three-pointers. Indiana defeated Las Vegas 109-75. That performance separated the weekend from an ordinary viral appearance. Cunningham did not only generate attention away from basketball, she returned to the court and reminded everyone why she had the platform in the first place. The timing felt almost too perfect. One night, she was walking around the octagon. The next, she was hitting shot after shot while the man who had invited her into that UFC moment watched from nearby. That is the kind of sports crossover brands love. The athlete remains credible in competition, while displaying enough personality to reach audiences who may not regularly follow her league. A UFC viewer who had never watched Indiana might now recognize Cunningham. A Fever fan unfamiliar with UFC 329 might search for the octagon clip. Each audience receives an introduction to the other sport. That is genuine crossover value. But then came the claim that Angel Reese was supposedly losing control over it. The viral narrative said Reese had recently declared herself the league's biggest crossover star. It claimed Dana White's decision to feature Cunningham was therefore a direct rejection of Reese. It then filled in an emotional response that had not been publicly documented. Reese was jealous. Reese was angry. Reese was throwing a tantrum. Those statements were repeated as though a camera had captured her reacting. It had not. No verified interview showed Reese complaining that Cunningham attended UFC 329. No credible report established that Reese wanted the same opportunity. No public comment demonstrated that she considered Cunningham a threat to her brand. The feud existed primarily inside the narration. That is an increasingly common formula. In WNBA gossip, start with a real event. Add another famous player's name. Assign that player a private emotion. Then present the imagined emotion as the hidden reason the real event matters. Cunningham goes viral. Therefore, Reese must be upset. Cunningham receives a shoe colorway. Therefore, Reese's partnership must be failing. Dana White enjoys Sophie's personality. Therefore, he must have rejected Angel. None of those conclusions automatically follows from the facts. Two athletes can succeed in different spaces at the same time. Cunningham's UFC moment did not remove Reese from fashion, media, or basketball. Reese's existing endorsement portfolio did not prevent Cunningham from experiencing a breakout weekend. The sports economy is not limited to one woman. That point becomes even clearer when examining Reese's actual crossover resume. She became the first professional athlete to walk in the Victoria's Secret fashion show. She has appeared on major magazine covers. She became a featured NBA 2K cover athlete. She received a signature shoe from Reebok. She has built a large social media platform, hosted a podcast, and expanded into entertainment and fashion. Those are not imaginary achievements. They do not disappear because Cunningham carried a round card at a UFC event. The idea that Sophie suddenly replaced Angel as the only crossover figure in women's basketball misunderstands how crossover appeal works. Cunningham's appeal currently comes from spontaneity, humor, toughness, and her connection to the enormously visible Indiana Fever. Reese's brand has been built around basketball, fashion, confidence, cultural visibility, and her willingness to enter spaces where athletes have historically been less visible. Those lanes can overlap. They do not have to collide. The Adidas story also requires an important correction. Cunningham is receiving a player-exclusive version of the Adidas Crazy Energy. The shoe is scheduled to release July 24th for $120. It features a personalized colorway and design elements associated with Cunningham. That is a meaningful achievement. A retail PE gives a player individual representation inside an established shoe model. It signals that the company believes fans may purchase a version connected specifically to that athlete. But a player-exclusive colorway is not identical to a signature shoe. A signature shoe is a model designed and marketed around one athlete's name, identity, and performance needs. The Angel Reese one is a signature model. Cunningham's Crazy Energy release is a personalized version of an existing Adidas model. Both are valuable. They represent different levels and types of brand investment. The viral transcript attempts to compare them as though they are the same product and only one can succeed. That comparison is misleading. More importantly, Cunningham's shoe was confirmed before her UFC appearance. The release was not created in a few hours because Adidas executives saw her inside the octagon. Footwear production does not move that quickly. Designing, manufacturing, distributing, and scheduling a national sneaker release requires months of preparation. The UFC moment may increase attention around the shoe. It may provide Adidas with unexpected promotional momentum. It did not cause the shoe to exist. That distinction actually makes Cunningham's weekend more interesting. The shoe announcement and the UFC appearance collided at almost exactly the right time. Adidas already had a product ready. Cunningham then generated a new audience immediately before its release. Brands spend large amounts of money trying to manufacture that kind of timing. Cunningham created it naturally. The next claim was that Reese's Reebok shoe had failed, was being abandoned, and could be found sitting unwanted in bargain bins. Verified reporting tells a different story. The Angel Reese one sold out in all sizes on Reebok's website during its initial launch day. That does not mean every future colorway will sell out. It does not mean the shoe can never be discounted. Athletic products frequently receive markdowns as seasons and inventories change. A discounted pair at one retailer is not proof that an entire signature line failed. It certainly is not proof that Reebok secretly wants to end the partnership. The viral story needed Reese's shoe to fail because it was trying to build a winner versus loser narrative. Sophie could not simply earn a positive Adidas opportunity. Angel had to lose something at the same time. That is the manipulation. Success becomes insufficient unless another woman is humiliated beside it. The same pattern appeared in the personal attacks. Instead of analyzing Reese's actual statements or performance, the viral commentary mocked how she moves, how she falls, and how she might look inside the octagon. That is not basketball analysis. It is not reporting. It is an attempt to make the audience dislike one player so strongly that it accepts every later allegation, without evidence. Once Reese has been turned into the villain, no proof of a tantrum is needed. The audience has already been told what kind of person she supposedly is. The narration then moves into unsupported locker room claims. It says Reese repeatedly divided teams. It says teammates were personally insulted. It says tension followed her into Atlanta. But public criticism of a roster is not the same as verified proof that an entire locker room split into factions. And no credible evidence was provided showing Reese had created a new internal crisis with the Dream. She joined Atlanta in 2026. She became an all-star for the third consecutive season. She was producing close to 15 points and 12 rebounds per game when the all-star reserves were announced. That is the current basketball reality. A player can be outspoken. She can create debate. She can occasionally express frustration poorly. Those facts do not permit a narrator to invent private conflicts and present them as established. The same standard should apply to Cunningham. Her popularity does not mean every action must be celebrated without context. Her enforcer reputation developed after she became involved in heated moments defending Indiana teammates. Some fans loved it. Others believed the behavior escalated situations unnecessarily. Both interpretations are legitimate sports opinions. What is not legitimate is transforming Cunningham into a symbol of perfect loyalty while presenting Reese as the opposite without verified evidence. Real athletes are more complicated than heroes and villains. Cunningham can be a supportive teammate, a physical competitor, and a skilled marketer. Reese can be confident, controversial, commercially successful, and productive on the court. Neither player needs to become a cartoon character. The contrast created by the viral story also hides one of the most positive developments in women's sports. More WNBA players are entering different cultural spaces. Cunningham crossed into UFC. Reese crossed into high fashion. Caitlin Clark has moved into national advertising and golf-related promotions. Aya Wilson has built a major signature footwear line. Sabrina Ionescu's shoes are worn by WNBA and NBA players. Players are no longer being marketed only through game highlights. Their personalities and interests are creating opportunities across entertainment, fashion, footwear, media, and business. That is growth. The league benefits when several players connect with different audiences. A fan may discover the WNBA through Clark's shooting. Another may discover it through Reese's fashion appearances. Another may see Cunningham at UFC 329. Another may purchase a Wilson or Ionescu shoe without regularly watching their teams. Those entry points support one another. They do not need to compete for a single title called the It Girl. That title is not an official league award. There is no vote. There is no trophy. Different players can dominate different moments. During UFC 329 weekend, Cunningham owned the crossover conversation. That statement can be made without pretending Reese was crying somewhere because of it. Cunningham's appeal during the weekend was also connected to the fact that she did not appear to be chasing a title. She looked like she was having fun. She asked to participate. White agreed. She embraced the crowd. Then she returned to basketball and delivered one of her best shooting performances of the season. The story had a natural beginning, middle, and payoff. That is why it spread. Fans did not need to be instructed that the moment was interesting. They saw it. The finger-pointing exchange with Holloway helped because Cunningham was combining her basketball meme with a UFC star's celebration. It gave both fan bases a recognizable joke. The moment belonged to internet culture as much as sports. Then White's appearance at the Fever game extended the story for another day. The crossover did not end when UFC 329 finished. It entered the WNBA arena. Cunningham's 20 points provided the ideal conclusion. That is enough material for a compelling WNBA news story. Adding a fictional Reese meltdown weakens it rather than strengthening it. It distracts from what Cunningham accomplished. Instead of discussing why her personality connected with UFC viewers, the conversation becomes another argument about Angel Reese. Instead of explaining the significance of a retail Adidas PE, the content becomes a false comparison with Reebok. Instead of celebrating the expanding influence of WNBA players, the audience is asked to choose which woman deserves to be mocked. The constant demand to select Team Sophie or Team Angel also creates a rivalry that may not exist. between the players themselves. There is no verified evidence that Cunningham views Reese as a branding enemy. There is no verified evidence that Reese believes Cunningham stole an opportunity from her. Fans are being invited to fight over emotions the athletes have not publicly expressed. That strategy produces comments. It can also create harassment. Once viewers are told Reese is jealous, every future post may be interpreted through that claim. A normal confident statement becomes a response to Cunningham. A fashion appearance becomes an attempt to reclaim attention. A basketball celebration becomes insecurity. The theory becomes impossible to escape because every action is forced inside it. Cunningham deserves better than becoming a weapon in an invented feud. Reese deserves better than having a private tantrum assigned to her without evidence. The audience deserves better than being told speculation is fact. The accurate version still contains plenty of drama. Sophie Cunningham entered UFC 329 as a spectator and became a guest Octagon girl with 8 minutes of warning. She went viral. She recreated her signature meme. Dana White publicly praised her personality. She returned to the basketball court and scored 20 points with 6 threes in a 34-point Fever victory. She has an Adidas Crazy Energy P releasing July 24th for $120. Those are major developments. The correction is that Adidas had already planned the shoe release. It is a PE, not her own signature silhouette. Angel Reese did not publicly throw a verified tantrum. There is no credible evidence she criticized the UFC appearance. And her Reebok signature shoe was reported to have sold out on launch day, rather than immediately. Failing. That is the complete story. One player had an extraordinary weekend. Another player was unnecessarily inserted as the villain. The bigger question is why women's sports coverage so often treats individual success as a threat to another woman. When an NBA player receives a new shoe, the story does not always require proving that another star's shoe is collecting dust. When a male athlete attends a major entertainment event, reporters do not automatically invent a jealous reaction from an unrelated player. WNBA coverage should be capable of celebrating several personalities. Cunningham's momentum is real. Reese's crossover success is also real. Clark's commercial dominance is real. Wilson's championship resume and footwear influence are real. The league becomes more valuable when all of those stories exist at the same time. The UFC appearance may become a turning point for Cunningham's public profile. More brands may notice her. More casual fans may recognize her. The Adidas release may receive greater demand because of the timing. Her strong performance against Las Vegas may convince basketball fans that the attention is connected to legitimate on-court value. Those are reasonable possibilities. What happens next will reveal whether the viral weekend creates lasting commercial momentum or remains one unforgettable burst of attention. For Reese, the next chapter has little to do with Cunningham. She is preparing for another all-star appearance. She is attempting to help Atlanta compete. She is continuing her work with Reebok, fashion brands, and media projects. Her public image will continue generating strong opinions because confidence has always been central to her brand. But confidence is not evidence of jealousy. Silence is not evidence of a tantrum. And another player's successful weekend is not evidence that Reese's career is collapsing. Sophie Cunningham deserved the spotlight she received. She created a memorable moment, embraced it fully, and followed it with an excellent basketball performance. The truth makes her look good without requiring anyone else to look bad. So was Cunningham's UFC 329 cameo the best WNBA crossover moment of the season? Do you think her Adidas PE will benefit from the perfectly timed viral attention? Or has social media damaged the story by inventing an Angel Reese feud when the real Sophie Cunningham moment was already entertaining enough on its own?